So one big reason that I bought a DJI Action 3 instead of a GoPro was to be able to plug in external microphones really easily without the need for an expensive audio adapter like GoPro needs. But when I went to actually try this out, I ran into some issues that I was not expecting. So if you have DJI's wireless mic system, you're good to go. You can plug that right in, it'll work no problem. If you have the new DJI Action 4 and the new Mic 2, then I think you can even connect to the mic wirelessly without even needing the receiver plugged into the camera. So that's pretty crazy. If you have a USB microphone, so one that has a USB-C port built into it natively, then there's a good chance you're good to go as well, from what I've seen online. But what if you want to use one of these? A regular old microphone with a 3.5mm jack. Obviously, the DJI Action 3 doesn't have a 3.5mm jack. All we have to work with is a USB-C port. That's the only port there is. So pretty clearly, we're going to need some kind of USB-C to 3.5mm audio adapter. So I jumped on Amazon and searched for USB-C audio adapter, and I found this guy right here with a USB-C port on the one end and a 3.5mm audio jack on the other end. I plugged it into my camera, plugged in my microphone, hit the record button, and got this. Crickets. Actually, not even crickets. If I had heard crickets, I would have been happy because it meant it was recording audio, but it was recording nothing at all. So I jumped back on the internet, did some searching around, and discovered that it may have had something to do with not having a TRRS input from the microphone, because my microphone had a TRS plug, not a TRRS plug. So I went back on Amazon and ordered another little audio adapter from TRS to TRRS. I plugged it into my little USB-C adapter, into the camera, hit record, and got this.
Okay, talking using the external microphone now. Trying again, seeing what it sounds like, you know?
Okay, I mean, it was working, but it sounded like garbage would sound like if garbage made sounds. And I wouldn't be surprised if this very closely mirrors a journey that you followed in trying to get external audio for your DJI Action 3. It's just not as straightforward as we might have hoped. So it was back to the internet to see if I could figure this thing out, and I finally found the right video that explained the whole thing. Shout out to Wayne Recs, Wayne RECs. He's got a YouTube channel and a really helpful video that explained everything really clearly for me. Long story short, it turns out there's a difference between a headphone USB-C adapter and one that is intended to be used with a microphone. So the cheapo ones you got on Amazon that I found for $8 are great, and it does work to plug into my phone that only has a USB-C port so that I can plug in headphones in the audio jack. Boom, awesome. If you plug a microphone in though, the only thing these are really designed to transmit in terms of a microphone signal is enough audio quality to make phone calls. So if you have your headphones plugged in and they had the little microphone on the cord or whatever, this would work with that for making phone calls, but it's not very good audio quality. So what you actually need is something like this. This is the Boya BY-K4, and yes, this looks identical to the other one. It's got the 1/4-inch jack on this side and the USB-C plug on this side. So if you're just surfing Amazon with no knowledge about this stuff, you're gonna think that this guy is way overpriced because it's like 15 bucks instead of $8 for this one. But the reason it's more expensive is because it has the technology in there to deliver a quality microphone signal and not just a headphone signal. And actually, when I tried plugging this into my phone, I couldn't even get a headphone signal out of it. So it's just a microphone adapter. I think the specifics of it are that you need a TRS to USB-C adapter instead of a TRRS to USB-C adapter. So I was kind of on the right track with the whole TRRS situation, but I kind of got off on a bunny trail that did not give me success.
Does it sound like it's like weird and digital, or does it sound good?
General rule of thumb, if you're scrolling Amazon like I was, is the ones that are under 10 bucks are probably just for using with your smartphone so you can plug in wired headphones, and the ones that seem overpriced like 15 or 20 bucks are probably the ones that actually will enable you to plug in a microphone to your camera. But just to be on the safe side, I'd recommend sticking with this guy here, the Boya BY-K4, and I'll leave a link below for it in the description. I can confirm it definitely works. Just to prove it, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this into the Action 3 so we can hear what some external audio sounds like recording on this camera. So we've got our USB-C port right here. Just gonna plug in the USB-C side right here. This door can actually pop off really easily. It's designed to do that, though I think it could break after doing it enough, but you can just pop it off of the hinge right there. I'm not gonna do it because I don't wanna stress it. Now we're gonna grab our microphone. You can see it's a TRS plug because it has the tip, the ring, and the sleeve. A TRRS would have 2 rings. Just gonna go ahead and plug this right in. And now when we power on the camera, we should see in the corner that it has a little microphone icon here, and that indicates that it is receiving a signal from a microphone. So the whole point of action cameras is they're small and compact, right? So now we got this microphone that's dangling off of there. What are we gonna do with it? Where is it gonna live as we're walking around with the camera? Well, there's a couple different things you could do. I had this little tripod ball head from Ulanzi, which is actually really high quality. I really recommend it. I feel fine using this even for my Lumix S5 II, which is a fairly heavy-ish camera. But the great thing about it for this application is that it has a cold shoe mount on the side built right in, so we can just slide the microphone on there and attach it that way. I know people also, if they're gonna rig up an action camera for a vlogging setup, they might use some kind of cage that has a cold shoe mount on top. I know Small Rig makes a good cage for the Action 3 and Action 4. And I kind of wish the included cage that comes with the DJI Action cameras would just include a cold shoe mount on here. That would be super and really make your life a lot easier when it comes to mounting a microphone. But it doesn't. So we are going to use this Ulanzi ball head, which works just fine as well. So let's hear what the audio sounds like out of the DJI internal microphones versus the external microphone. So what you're hearing now are the internal mics on the Action 3, and honestly, as action cameras go, they aren't terrible. Like if I'm out vlogging or something and I just grab this camera, I don't feel like the audio is a lost cause if all I have is the internal microphones. They're totally serviceable, you can totally use the audio, but let's hear what it sounds like with an external microphone. All right, so now we're recording with the Rode Video Micro. This is a pretty popular external microphone. I've been using it for a couple years, and you can hear what it sounds like going into the Action 3 now. One thing I want to point out that I see some users making a mistake with is your little dead cat wind muff here. So because the Action camera has such a wide field of view, I mean, I think the Action 3 has like a 150-degree field of view or something. It's really crazy. So what can end up happening is that sometimes you end up seeing your dead cat in the picture, if it's right here next to the camera or maybe mounted right over it or something like that. So a way to avoid that is to just, you know, get it away from the camera field of view a little bit somehow, which I'm kind of accomplishing by using this ball head with the cold shoe mount. Or, you know, if it's not too windy where you're filming, maybe just take the dead cat off entirely, and then you don't have to worry about seeing it in your frame. So now that we have an external mic plugged in, there's actually a couple of new settings that we have access to on the camera to help monitor and control the audio levels of the microphone. So right on the screen, on the front screen and the back screen, we can see a little microphone icon with levels bouncing up and down. It's super crude. You can't get very precise with seeing exactly where your levels are peaking, but if you see a lot of red in the little level meter, then that indicates that your levels are too high. If you need to adjust them, you go into the settings, you switch over to Pro mode, and then go to the microphone icon, and from there you can go ahead and adjust your microphone level. I just have it at 0 right now, and I think it's giving me a pretty good level. I'm not seeing too much red in that little super informative audio meter. Something interesting I just noticed is that having a microphone plugged in affects the voice control of the camera, because now whatever microphones it uses to listen to your voice is only what you have plugged in. So if you have a directional mic, you might have to make sure that you are in front of the mic when you tell it to start recording or stop recording or whatever. Stop recording. Just an interesting little tidbit. So there you go, guys. I hope this video was helpful, and like I said, you can check out the link below for that Voya USB-C audio adapter. That is an Amazon affiliate link, and I earn a teensy weensy commission off of that $15 product if you buy through that link, so I really appreciate it. But also, if you want to get your hands on a DJI Action 3 or Action 4, you can check out those links below as well. I think this is the best value action camera on the market right now, so check it out. As always, if you found value in this video, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.